Hi everyone, welcome back to Ancient Chinese Wisdom Life. Today we are beginning a new journey into one of the best known and perhaps most misunderstood systems in traditional Chinese culture, BaZi, the four pillars of destiny. As introduced earlier, destiny is one of the five arts. All these five arts represent five traditional paths towards understanding the Tao. We have explored a lot on the I Ching divination so far. Today, I will begin sharing my understanding on the Chinese destiny theory. To Western audience, BaZi may sound unfamiliar, but it can be loosely compared to Western astrology. So when talking about BaZi, Chinese people often ask, can the moment of our birth really tell us something about who we are? Can it even predict our destiny? Behind these questions lies a deeper thought. What exactly is a human being? How much of our life is given to us? And how much can we change through our own choices? To answer these questions, I'd like to start with the Chinese character 人, a person or human being. It resembles the side view of a walking person, but it also shows an important idea in traditional Chinese philosophy: heaven, earth, and humanity. These are sometimes called the 三才, three powers or three lusts. As we learned in the previous video on yin and yang, odd numbers are traditionally associated with yang, where even numbers are associated with yin. If you read the character 人 symbolically, its upper part appears as one associated with yang, representing the creative and ceaseless power. This suggests heaven above us, including time, natural cycles, and forces beyond our control. At the bottom, the character divides into two parts: an even number associated with yin, representing the receptive power. This suggests earth beneath us, including the physical environment and the material conditions of life. Between heaven and earth stands the human being, embodying both yin and yang and forming an inseparable part of the interconnected totality of the universe. We are influenced by both heaven and earth, by time and space, by the conditions into which we are born. But in the traditional Chinese understanding, human beings are not completely passive. We can observe these conditions, respond to them, make decisions, and take action in pursuit of a better life. There is another very interesting Chinese character, 囚. It places a person inside an enclosure. The character means a prisoner or someone who is trapped. It is a vivid metaphor for the condition of a person. We don't get to choose the day we are born. We cannot choose our parents. We cannot choose where we are born, and we cannot completely control the thoughts and actions of other people. These conditions like four walls surrounding us. This symbolic character shows the starting point of destiny. Every human being enters life within certain boundaries. The most important question the ancient Chinese people then asked was, what can we do within these boundaries? This brings us to the Chinese word 命运, usually translated simply as destiny. But 命运 contains much deeper meaning than destiny. It includes two central ideas. The first character 命 means life, an order or a mandate. In destiny theory, it is the foundation we receive at birth, our initial conditions, natural tendencies, potential and limitations. 命 is based on a traditional Chinese hypothesis. Because human beings are part of the universe, a person's destiny can be inferred from the state of the cosmos at the moment of their birth. The second character 运 means movement or change through time. It describes the changing circumstances and cycles through which our life develops. As the environment in which a person lives and grows continuously changes, so does their interaction with it. 运 describes this evolving relationship. Therefore, 命 is the pattern we begin with, the early heaven. 运 is how circumstances change as we move through life, the later heaven. In other words, the Chinese destiny theory explores the interaction between what we were given, the changing conditions around us, and the way we respond. Therefore, BaZi isn't fatalistic. Instead, Chinese destiny theory is a methodology developed within Chinese civilization through centuries of exploring human destiny and putting the principles of the I Ching into practice, so that we 趋吉避凶, moving towards what is favorable and reducing avoidable danger. Chinese ancient thinkers didn't assume that everyone begins life with equal conditions. Some people are born with great material resources, having stronger family support. Some may find certain things much harder than others. Everyone also encounters different opportunities and difficulties. But recognizing these differences doesn't mean that our actions are meaningless. A BaZi chart is like a map, which shows our natural strength and our blind spots, so that we have the information to prepare for difficult periods. Confucius once said, "Without understanding destiny, one cannot become a truly cultivated person." Knowing one's destiny doesn't mean passively surrendering to fate. It means understanding what we have been given so that we can participate more consciously in shaping our lives. This is the central wisdom of Chinese destiny theory. So what exactly is Chinese destiny theory? BaZi is one of its most influential systems. Its full name is the Four Pillars of Destiny. The form of BaZi practice today has been developing for over 2,000 years within the broader intellectual world of traditional Chinese thought. Yin and Yang, the five elements or five faces, 8 trigrams, and the relationship among heaven, earth, and humanity. BaZi literally means 8 characters. Ba is 8, Zi is character. A BaZi chart is constructed from 4 parts of a person's birth time: the year, the month, the day, and the hour as the 4 pillars. Each pillar contains 2 Chinese characters, 1 heavenly stem and 1 earthly branch. The 4 characters in the upper row are the 4 heavenly stems, and the 4 characters beneath them are the 4 earthly branches. Together, they give us exactly 8 Chinese characters. In future videos, we will explore how to read and use this chart to answer this interesting question. Could the structure of the moment when a person was born contain information about the path of that person's life? From a modern perspective, BaZi is a very complicated algorithm, like a black box. The 8 characters are entered as the input. Practitioners then examine yin and yang, the 5 elements, and the many relationships among the stems and branches. They also study how the original birth chart interacts with later cycles of time, including the 10-year luck pillars and individual years. Over many centuries, Chinese people spent hundreds of years building, testing, refining this enormous interpretative time-space model to connect a person's strength and weakness, relationships and conflicts, opportunities and risks to the unique configuration of the universe at the moment of one's birth. Generations of practitioners collect cases, compare charts with people's actual lives, debated different interpretations, and repeatedly adjusted the rules. This also brings us to a broader question about Chinese culture. Chinese philosophy is often described as highly pragmatic. It asks not only abstract questions such as what is the nature of reality, but also very practical questions. For example, how can we make better choices? And how can I live in a better life within forces that I cannot completely control? BaZi fits naturally within this practical orientation because it transforms the abstract cosmology into guidance about real life. I have often wondered why Chinese culture developed such a strong pragmatic tendency. Was it shaped by an agricultural way of life, family responsibilities, repeated periods of political instability, a long history of centralized government, or some combination of all these factors? I still don't have a complete answer, but perhaps this practical orientation is one reason why destiny theories such as BaZi became so influential in Chinese society. Finally, I want to explain how BaZi is used, and perhaps convince you why it is worth learning how to construct and interpret your own BaZi chart. First, BaZi has traditionally been used to understand a person's character and psychological tendencies. In modern terms, some people approach it like a personality framework such as MBTI. They use it to reflect on their strength, weakness, natural reactions, and internal conflicts. However, BaZi is broader than an ordinary personality test. It combines Ming and Yun, the early heaven and the later heaven, therefore also considers how a person may change over time and how the same qualities may be expressed differently under different circumstances. Second, practitioners use BaZi to explore personal aptitudes and possible career directions. By examining the strength and weakness shown in your chart, a person may consider what kind of work fits their natural abilities or what kind of environment could help them develop those abilities more fully. BaZi also includes 10-year cycles known as luck pillars, 大运. These are used to identify periods when certain opportunities or challenges may become more prominent. In practical terms, they may offer guidance about when to move forward, when to prepare, and when it might be wiser to wait and conserve your energy. Third, BaZi has traditionally been used to discuss relationships and marriage. The charts of two persons can be compared to see whether their qualities complement one another and whether the relationship may benefit or challenge both people. Even today, it remains common in many Chinese families for parents to consult someone familiar with BaZi before a young couple gets married. My own family did this as well. They wanted to see whether our charts were compatible, or at the very least, whether the marriage was believed to bring any serious conflict or misfortune to the couple or their families. Fourth, BaZi examines money and material resources, as wealth is necessary to support and sustain human life. Naturally, people have therefore used BaZi to ask whether they have opportunities to accumulate wealth, as well as when and where those opportunities might arise. Finally, BaZi contains traditional correspondence between the five elements and different aspects of the body. Practitioners may therefore use a chart to discuss possible constitutional strength, weakness, and health tendencies. This is because in traditional Chinese culture, both BaZi and Chinese medicine theory are deeply rooted in the same philosophical framework of the I Ching. Whether or not you accept BaZi's predictive claims, I think it offers a fascinating window into the traditional Chinese understanding of time, personality, change, and human agency. In previous videos, we introduced the basic ideas of yin and yang and I Ching. In the coming videos, we will explore how a BaZi chart is constructed. We will then gradually explore the heavenly stems, the earthly branches, the five elements, the 10 gods, and the cycles of luck. Step by step, we will open this ancient black box and learn how to read the 8 characters for ourselves. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and continue exploring ancient Chinese wisdom with me. I will see you in the next video.